Just do what in your town. You might wanna stick around. We give it to you nice and raw. We don't hold back our tongue. Anything you hear around here, it's our views, just to be clear. Cause it's about the realness. You better come and listen in. You don't wanna miss this. Call me.
What's really good, beautiful people? I'm your girl's favorite artist, Josiesboy.
And I'm Alexis A. McCoy. That was like, you came in like you were doing like an introduction to like a MTV show, you know, like Spring Break or whatever.
What's up, party people?
Yeah, that's exactly
DJ
how you
Josiesboy.
That's how you came in. I was like, what the hell?
Sometimes you gotta give the presents. And welcome back to another episode of Call Me When It's Over.
Yes.
Back for another week.
What episode are we on?
You know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you, we're on 218, but I'm gonna tell you something funny. So I was like, you know what? So I've been thinking about ego lately, right?
Got such a big ego.
And mine's is huge. If egos, well, you know what?
You heard my little beatbox. I killed it.
If egos was a dick size, I'd probably be like a porn star.
Oh,
I wouldn't be the best porn star, but like I'd be a porn star.
So you think your ego is a mandingo?
But I have balance.
The size of a mandingo.
Yeah, I have balance though.
Okay.
I have balance though. So like I feel like I have like the right amount of humble. But I was sitting there thinking, I'm like,
okay, how does one know that they have the right amount of humble?
Well, I can't tell you I'm humble. That's just blasphemous. But I know I have the right amount of humility. I know I do.
You have some type of humility.
Yeah, I got manners and shit. I hold doors and stuff. I say hi to kids when they say hi to me.
God,
I do. That's
I cannot.
Polite. That's polite. That's not polite.
That is. Sometimes you be looking at kids like they.
I don't want kids
specks on the floor or something.
Well, not because I'm better than them. Because I am taller than them. But I just with the way the world is, I don't even want kids near me, to be real with you. If they're not mine, which I don't got none yet, I just don't want kids near me because you just can't be too sure. I don't want some parent to hold up and smack me because I said, "Oh, your daughter has cute shoes." Like, you're trying to touch my kid. I'm like, no, I don't do that. That's wrong. Like,
I know I don't do that. That's wrong.
That's wrong.
That's
you know?
pedophilia.
Yeah, I don't do that. No, I wasn't ready. No,
no, don't do it.
I was like, damn. You know how when somebody says, people say when you're great you don't really have to tell anybody, and I'm like, you know what, I really don't have to say the number of the show anymore.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because I thought about it. I was like, man. So Coldness was going on 5 years in March.
Right.
It'll be 5 years.
So like, we don't have to say. We shouldn't have to say it.
Yeah, because the numbers are already there. We don't have to say it anymore.
That's true. All right. Well,
that was just a little revelation.
For the people out there, you won't be hearing the numbers from us from now on.
They could just read it.
I'm just saying, like, we've been saying it so long in our intro.
Yeah.
Now, y'all just got to count from 1 into 218 and go from there.
I mean, listen, it's. I'm just happy to be here.
I like that analogy.
Thank
I
you.
like that. Sometimes. You've gotten, once you get to 10, you know the other numbers after that. So I don't have to count to 10. I don't got to past 10. I don't need to tell you what the rest of the numbers are.
Ric Flair don't got to tell you he Ric Flair. Yeah. You know it. You know
I like that.
So, yeah, that was just a little revelation I had. You know what I'm saying? But welcome back, everybody. We appreciate y'all for coming back every single week. Please, guys, we just a small disclaimer really quick before we start everything. Please subscribe to our YouTube.
Yes. Make sure you go subscribe. I mean, we sound entertaining, but we look even more entertaining.
You look good, girl. You look good.
Thanks. You look handsome too, boy.
I agree with you. Thank you.
Okay, why can't you just say...
I did say thank you.
You said, I agree with you.
Thank you.
That's so disrespectful. That's not humble.
Bullshit.
That's not humble.
When I give you
where your humbleness at? Show it to me. Put it on your sleeve.
Right now, in this moment, humble is a Kendrick Lamar song. That's not that moment where I got it.
But no, definitely go subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, please.
Comment, leave some, do thumbs up. Everything that YouTube consists of, share with your friends. All of y'all. Let y'all do a subscribe party. Instead of a vision party, do a subscribe party to the Call Me When It's Over podcast. You know?
Facts. So go subscribe, Call Me When It's Over podcast. Of course, if you're watching this, all the information is right there. Just go down to the link and subscribe. Make that happen. Jumping into things. Today we actually got a really good conversation. So shout out to my homegirl Jazz. She actually runs the program Educated Little Monsters out in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Shout out to her.
Yay.
She always puts out like really good cultural conversations. So we're gonna get. She put up a meme. Well, I guess it would be a picture because it's not a meme of these white journalists. And she said something specific.
It was like a collage.
It was collage. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. It was
Right.
a collage. So she said something specific, which we really gonna get into. But first, I would like to say and let everybody know that we are doing a 3-day detox before,
Yes.
because we wanted to clean some things out.
Really, it was not just for the body,
Well,
but
that's where I was getting to exactly.
it's also for the mind, the spirit, but just allowing for yourself to like release all of the things that 2020 has brought.
Facts.
Good, bad, or indifferent, and really going to the basics. And sometimes when we detox, we don't think about like the basic. Really, what we can live off of is the basics.
That's a fact. The necessities,
The necessities.
Yeah, man.
Like we really can live off the basic things in life.
Like you think about it, life is about getting to the bag and all
Right.
that stuff, and we chasing green, but we don't really like eat green and
Right.
live green.
But it just makes you appreciate the basic things. Like, oh my God, I love carrots and I love vegetables, but eating them every day is so
it becomes mundane. to
It
some
does.
people.
It becomes
Yeah.
mundane. But if you think about it in a context, all of the different things that it adds value to the body,
Yeah.
you just be like, well, I just have a few of these. But if you start seeing how your body is transforming, how your skin looks, how your hair is reacting because you're eating these nutrients
Yeah.
that's giving your body things that, as much as I love sushi, I shouldn't be having it every day.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And it's parts in there that's giving me something, but it's taken away from a lot of things too.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So we as a couple decided to do the detox. Well, my husband here, he brought it to the table, and normally I detox by myself because I like to go through that mental journey by myself. But I am so honored to take this journey with you because it's at the end of the, we both individually have goals, but we have a goal collectively, and I'm excited to see what this 3-day detox, what the goal looks like for us collectively and individually. So we're rooting for one another.
No,
in this
facts. And
particular situation.
like you said, it's and that's what I was getting to. It's deeper than just the body,
Right.
It got to be mind, body, spirit all together,
Right.
And I understand that it ain't easy for a lot of people. Like people who do juicing and shit like that ain't for everybody. There's some people who's a little more extreme than we are, but like you said, the way 2020 has been, and as much loss as people have went through, as much hurt as people has been through, it's like
as much success, as much transitions people have, as many.
Now, I was about to say that there's also the other side. Exactly. But for I do believe that like going into 20, people are like, I can't wait till 2020 is over. Like we not rushing it, of course, but before 2021 comes in, I feel like there needs to be some sort of a purge. You got to like get rid of any, of course we still got some, at least 2.5 weeks left, you know? So it's like, you should like get into like different habits, be a little more intentional. Cause think about it, like so many people start the new year, and that's why I think resolutions are bullshit. So many people start the new year with something new. And I'm like, yes, you should, but you should be intentional about what you're going to start before the new year comes in.
And I think it's okay to reformat and restructure the things that you've been doing.
Facts.
Like,
don't forget, don't be afraid to get back to the basics.
So, me now, I've been taking my working out pretty serious. During the pandemic, it was kind of hard for me as far as like staying committed to my workout regimens, because in 2019 beast mode, I was at the gym all the time.
We was able to get out.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, bringing your workout in the house is totally different mindset.
It's easy for like the first 2-3 months. Then it's like,
and it took a toll on me to the fact where I was like, I don't want to do this shit today.
Because you think about it.
I don't want to do it again tomorrow. I don't want to do it the next day. So right now I was just like, maybe it's time for me. And shout out to my niece, Jerica, because she was like, oh, we should work out together on Zoom. And that sparked me. I was like, you know what? Before she said it, I was like, I'm going to start fresh on Monday. I wanted to start fresh in December because I was like, November has happened and it's gone. I did.
November went by real quick.
Right. I was like, but December, I'm going to start fresh in December because I want to make sure that I'm able to, if I can commit for these 30 days, I'm good. Facts. I'm coasting through the rest of 2021. Facts. And I felt like working out, I will get up early. I've been getting up early in the morning, adding meditation to my it's, those old practices that I was doing, renewing them and really being, like you said, intentional about it. Yeah. So, this detox is just the intention of like, hey, you are cleansing yourself, not only your body, of things that when you start at the top of the year, you've been eating healthy, but at the top of the year, you really are about to be committed. Mm-hmm. So let's be intentional about this, your body being healthy on the inside. And I personally believe that the reason why God was like, girl, you need to get into that workout because I'm going to be moving. And if I'm going to be moving, I got to be ready. I can't be tired.
That's a fact.
I can't be tired.
And no, and that is 110% true. It's like people don't really understand that preparation has to start from somewhere. Like
you got pre-production, post-production, production.
Yeah.
The pre-production is just putting the shit up on some boards and writing that shit out.
Yeah.
The post-production is like, okay, we got to really figure out what we gonna be doing with this paper that we got.
Facts. And it's, of course, we're always intentional about our jobs and our careers and things of that nature. Like, we've been intentional. Like, we are lucky enough to have each other to bounce ideas off, to have business meetings and things of that nature, like have our little powwows. We don't really necessarily need to go out of what we have, even though it's important to be around all types of different creatives, but like we are lucky enough to be able to bounce off ideas and give truths and things of that nature to each other, which I think every artist needs, every creative needs.
It's so funny that you just.
And I'm not just gonna say partners, but I mean just like creative, like-minded people.
Right. It's so funny that you said that because shout out to Marlene Victoria. I was talking on the phone with her the other day, and she was asking me how were we doing because last time I talked to her, I was just on a different mood.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it is such an honor to have somebody that you love and they love you, but also be a creative, but also be your best friend. And I was bigging you up. I was like, we had a creative talk the other day, and we were in here like, wow. It was like, like I can't explain what movie it is. Like, it was like we were in like a is it August? I don't know what the movie is, but it that's what my mom is thinking about. But anyway, so it was like, magic was flying in the sky, and you were throwing your magic and I was throwing my magic, and it was like a magical situation. And I was like, I am so honored to be able to have somebody who is not like me, but we're both creatives, and we're able to share those, I want to call them God intervention moments together. Yeah. When God gives you an idea and you're able to give it to somebody else, and it's not no judgment, no what the hell? That don't make sense. It's just the ear. We're receiving all of this love, all of this worship that God has put inside of us to give to the other person, and they're receiving it, and it's like, oh my God. Like it's like a creative moment that it's almost like we're on a high that we don't know what it feels like.
I agree. The only way that could work for people though, like when you want to have like a creative counterpart, not just like a intimate partner. I mean like a friend, a professional partner, if you want to have that and have that sort of accountability, I should say, or be able to bounce some ideas, they also have to realize that sometimes your ideas are just for you. If you give it off to somebody, they don't understand or they tear it apart, don't take it personal, because it's like you were meant to see it. Because when it comes out, then it's like, oh, now I get it.
It's so funny because I feel like we've gotten into that place where it's like when it's in the creative stage or the idea stage, and we try to bounce the idea off of you. Sometimes it's not is not supposed to. You're not supposed to disclose it at that time.
It happened yesterday when I showed you the idea I had for a bag.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I just want to see it. I've gotten to a point. I think we both have gotten to a point where it's like,
You got to show me.
It's
You
not
gotta
1
show me.
+ 1 is 2 for me. It's just 1.
Yeah,
So
like, I just can't
I
see
just
it.
got to see it. I got to see it. I'll see it when it comes to fruition.
And it has to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
going into next year, hopefully, because the year's not over, but for
Right.
these next 2.5 weeks, like, I just want people to be a little more intentional, everybody to just be a little more focused and grounded. And real quick, I did do something on Instagram the other day, and it was like 2 nights ago, and I asked people, if you had 3 companies or 3 artists you could work with, who would they be? And I intentionally did that because I feel like not enough people speak out what they want. Because we're so in a moment in a phase where we feel like people are stealing things from us. Like, we say something, and it's like, somebody stole my idea, somebody stole this, somebody stole that, not realizing how many of us have so much in common, and we all just want to accomplish something. So, like, I purposely asked people, and so many people responded to me, and I'm like, those are the people that are gonna get what they want, because you just said what you wanted, and sometimes you just have to put it out there. You just have to, you know what I'm saying? So that was just my good deed for the day the other day. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who would I want? What 3 people I would want to collab with? It's such a long.
I was gonna ask you that question, but I know
it's such a long ass list. It's ridiculous.
If you right at the moment, 3 people you are like
3 people.
3 people or companies you like right now.
3 companies. One company that I always wanted to do their commercial marketing for them.
Ralph Lauren.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna say that. I know.
Ralph Lauren is one of my top companies that I will love to work.
Well, for people who don't know, you do production,
right? So I would love to produce and come up with their commercial marketing.
Give me
commercial.
2 more. Right now, just anybody
right now for me. Taraji P. Henson.
I thought you was gonna say Tia.
No, because Tia, I love her. I just love the aesthetic of her. But Taraji P. Henson, Taraji has I would love for her to be in a film that I'm doing. I actually would love that because I just love her energy. I love what she represents. She's just a dope woman to me.
Definitely.
My third person would be small businesses, like small, no specific,
just in general,
like a small business or not even small, a independent company that's creating material product, whatever, to work with them to be able to bring forth a marketing campaign that is gonna put them in a way where they're up there with the big lead. So, I mean, I would love to work with small businesses because it's just so inspiring.
That'd be fire,
like you never know what you get out of that situation.
Definitely.
As far as like, not get out of it as far as like recognition, but what you get out of it as far as like how
just
you can
personally,
right? You can how what you take away from the situation. So those are my 3.
That's cool.
Ralph Lauren being the top one.
I know. That's why I said it. I know. I personally, real quick, I would work with right now, Nike, not for a sneaker though.
Oh, okay.
Not for a sneaker, Nike. Starbucks.
Ooh.
Starbucks. I have a specific idea of what I want to do with Starbucks.
Okay.
And I've always had this idea. So, but I had it for the past 5 years. Nike, Starbucks, and at the moment right now, there's not a bad company that I want to work with.
A person. Say a person.
If I had to work with a person, it'll probably be right now Nigo from Human Made, the guy who made the Bathing Ape.
Oh, okay.
Because I like some of the little things that he's been making lately, like his contraptions and stuff. So probably Nigo,
Okay.
But so moving forward, jumping into the show, because that was a nice little.
We've been jumping into the show for some time.
Yeah, but when life takes over,
Sometimes you got to let the flow be the flow.
I've been reading and playing about not hurrying and accepting distractions. You know what I'm saying? So some distractions are actually good. Like if even all that whole conversation did tie in together, but it's like some distractions are good. You can't run away from certain shit. But so a few days ago, once again, shout out to my homegirl Jazz from the person who runs Educated Little Monsters of Brooklyn. Y'all go check her out, Jazz O Brooklyn. she posted the picture of these 4 guys. It was DJ Vlad, Adam 22 from No Jumper, Peter Rosenberg, and I can't remember who the last person was. But the conversation more or less was about how these white people dictate telling the stories of black culture. And it's so funny because I'm like, I had that thought maybe 2 weeks ago because there's a guy, let me find his name. There's a guy named Trap Lord Ross, English dude. I cannot fucking stand him. Like,
because
he annoys the whole hell out of me. So he tells these fucking stories about he did stories about the drill scene in Chicago. He did what really got me was he told a story about Who's and Chose. The whole GDs and Vice, all that stuff in Brooklyn, the Brooklyn drill scene. I'm like, what the fuck does your white ass know about gang culture, Brooklyn? Like, what the fuck do you know? And who is approving of these goddamn stories? And he gets millions of views. And I'm like, and then you got DJ Vlad, like Casanova 2 times about to go to jail because of this nigga. They using his interview on DJ Vlad's channel against him in court. And it wasn't just him. He got ARAB got locked up because a lot of people got indicted. So people are speculating secretly that he's a cop. Then you got people like Adam 22 from No Jumper. I respect their hustle and all that good shit. But he's getting all these rappers on here, and he's getting all these stories about like the Asian Crip gangs in California and all that shit. And I'm like, yo, who the fuck is allowing these people to dictate these stories, to tell these stories? And then people like DJ Vlad, so they all get these millions and millions of views and subscribers, and then we kind of get shitted on when we ourselves decide to start a podcast or to start something. It's like you look to these people for the real story and then turn to us and be like, yo, nah, y'all can't talk about this. You got to be comedians,
right?
You got to be a relationship expert. You got to, and I'm like, but I like to tell culture stories too. I like to talk about the things I know and the things I've been through. It's like we won't give ourselves a chance, but we'll look to these people for the right story to be told. And I'm like, who the hell gave these motherfuckers all this approval? Like, to me, stuff like that bothers me. It's like you look at something like, don't mind that truck. You look at something like the Grammys happened recently, or the nominations happened recently,
right?
And people are getting angry like, oh, the Weeknd did get snubbed. He should have got nominated for something. I give him that one. He got snubbed. I know you don't like him.
I don't. I don't know if he's supposed to get snubbed or not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
His last album was really good. And which was because he's been dropping shitty albums for a minute now, so it's really good. But you look at people look at the Grammys and the Oscars, and it's like they never get it right. They never get it right. Then turn around when the BET Awards come on, and we're like, I just want to see this decipher. We don't take it seriously. You know, I feel like with black media, there's a surgeon of black media being accepted right now, and we're dictating certain stories and things of that nature. But I feel like these white men on some real shit have way too much power when it comes to telling black stories. We look too often. Do we look for? I can't even say approval, but look for the right story from their channels. We're looking for the right interviews from them because he's asking questions about like their street life and stuff. And I'm like, okay, if somebody been through that, right? Say if I interview a rapper, we know he was a drug dealer. We know, I'm not saying all rappers are like that. I'm just saying if we had a reputable, he used to be a drug dealer. He used to be a shooter. He used to be this. We know all that shit already. Why am I going to keep asking those questions? Why do I want to? Why would I not want to know about that person? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying get emotional and shit, but like, yeah, you can. We're gonna tell your story and all that, but I'm not gonna have you out here like DJ Vlad has people listing things that they've done, and it sounds like, yo, you just telling on yourself.
Well, I mean, I think the thing for me is why, if you know that this person is your demise, why do people continue to go on to his show?
And this is the thing that kills me. When Dame Dash spoke out against DJ Vlad, he said, yo, don't trust him. He with the feds. He shouldn't speak on our culture. When Dame Dash speaks about guys like Adam 22, when Dame Dash spoke on all these people talking about how they culture vultures, people called him crazy a few years ago. People was like, it may be the way he delivered. I will say that. But what he said was it turned out to be 110% true. It's like we allowed, who was it? Bill Burr, white comedian, funny as hell. He plays the father on F is for Family. One of the funniest and realest comedians ever. Like, he just don't care about shit.
That's the dude.
Redhead dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny as hell. So he says, why complain? He's like, if you don't like it, start your own shit. Start your own shit. He's like, why don't you be a part of the shit that you want it to be started?
Right.
Like,
I mean, I feel like this. I do agree with you.
And that's what Communist Over is for.
I do agree that white people in media have the tendency, and they get the clearance to tell clearance. To tell our narrative as minority people. I'm not just gonna say black people, because we're talking about minorities in
black,
general.
Brown people,
yeah. Because they can tell the story of an Asian culture and fuck it up. True.
You saw what they did to Mulan.
Yeah. So the movie wasn't actually that bad.
The movie looked good.
That live action movie was more of, had a better message than the actual.
I just don't.
Actual cartoon.
I don't think it needed.
But anyway, you need to watch it.
That's
so anyway. So I feel like they get clearance, and because as minority people, we run we push the culture forward.
We are the culture.
We do. We push it forward. If we decide that we gon', instead of counseling people that look like us, how about we cancel people that is against us?
Ooh. See,
like that's for real. That's for real. We want to cancel somebody. We want to cancel Ice Cube because he voted for Trump. Okay.
Well, he didn't vote for Trump.
Well, he endorsed him.
Yeah.
He endorsed him. We want to cancel him, but he is not the main person that we should. It's so many of them that continuously do things that it slights us, that puts us in a negative, that pushes us out of the room, that we just be like, cancel them. How about we do the cancel culture on people that really need to be canceled instead of the people that they're supposed to be representing us. No, you represent yourself, and you stand for what you feel like is right. Cancel the people that's not for us.
That listen,
it ain't never been for us.
You just said something that's in my head all the fucking time. I always tell people I'm not looking for allies outside of our whatever we do. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the people who are in it,
right,
to partner with me. Like, I don't need to know. I don't need to be with somebody, which is cool. I'm glad if you have if we have allies, that's cool. People that support us, I'm down for that. The people who root for us outside of us, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not looking to them first. I want the people who are in the culture, us, like the minorities, the people of color, black, brown people, like the people who move the culture forward. Like, I don't care about going to the head of fucking J Records. I don't care about that. If I have music, I want my people to play my music. I'm going to go straight through, even though I understand that's a little harder.
Even if your people don't play your music, right? If you stand for just anything, you'll fall for anything.
If you don't stand for anything.
Yeah. So I feel like if you I'm just trying to get to the bag, it's on me, they ain't giving me, they want me to do all this obscure shit to get my record played, but Lil Jonathan comes with his terrible ass rap album or R&B song, and he's singing exactly like the fuck I'm singing, and they let him skip the line, but he don't have to do nothing, but I got to do everything. You're standing for some shit that don't matter. You fighting, you swinging, and they basically was like, oh, you blindfolded. You swinging blindfolded. Who the fuck you hitting?
And that's it. There's like just major amounts of hypocrisy when it comes to culture.
Right.
On some real shit. Even though like I hate the term "do it for the culture." Like that shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because it's been so overused for a long time. But in our culture, there is a big time hypocrisy. It's like if you are like all right. So you look at what I do, right?
Yeah.
I'm an artist. Like I'm a visual artist, but I'm a designer. Like I have my leather goods and stuff. If I have my bag, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People been telling me this since I started painting years, like when I was younger. Oh, I want something for you, but it costs too much. Okay. But then you would save your whole work check to go spend it at Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
But I can make bags of that quality. I can't I can if I have the infrastructure. But right now, at the moment, I cannot mass produce the way they do.
Right.
But my bags would be just as good a quality as theirs and might last longer because I use actual leather. They do not use leather. You know?
Yeah.
People will tell you one thing and then turn around and still do the exact opposite that will deteriorate what you are trying to build.
And I realized I was having a conversation with somebody about that. And he was like, you're conditioned. You're conditioned to think that way. And we were having that conversation about engagements and rings.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, you're conditioned. You're conditioned to think that way. You're conditioned to think that marriage is all about the ring as the woman. I like the feeling of, is mine. He kept me. He got me. Type of thing.
I don't have no problem with engagement rings. Let me put that out there right now.
No. I'm saying, but when you had that conversation, it's like you're conditioned to think that way. It made me sit and think. I was like, damn, am I being conditioned? So I had to like dissect really what does the ring symbolize for me? And I did. And I was like,
what value it brings to you.
What value it brings to me. And when I was able to define that, I didn't feel bad about the fact that people would be like, girl, well, my mom was like, I ain't had no ring when I got engaged. That's your motherfucking problem. Like, I was like, for me, it means something different.
Yeah.
It means something totally different for me. And I was like, the fact that we say we condition, once people start looking at it from a perspective of why does this mean so much to me? Why does it matter at all? Why do I have to get in this door? Why do I have to step on this step? What does it value me to be in that room? What is it going to do for me?
I agree. And that's the thing. Like it all, like you said, it all boils down to value. We've had this conversation. Like,
right.
We speak of this all the time. It's like what really matters in that about that specific thing.
Right. That space.
About that specific moment.
Yeah.
It's like people, you look at, matter of fact, we were talking about that with the movies and things like producers and directors and things.
Right.
It's like when you are, it's a little different when you are a clothing designer. You can be completely in-house and build up and then buy the screen printing machines, buy the embroidery machines.
Yeah.
When you making movies, you need that infrastructure.
Unless you are making something that is very small, consists of one is you and somebody else.
Like Tyler Perry is 100% independent, but he signed deals along the way to get the promotion and things of that nature.
He needed to get that backing.
And then took then took that money. It's like, now you got to come to me.
Right.
You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But he understood the value in what he does.
Right.
And what he has. And when we it's the guy, Devlin Carter, FBCC Bay Area, the designer from Sire Collective that we was talking about. He said it on his interview at the Breakfast Club. He said the number one deterrent to black business is black people. And it sucks. But that isn't. Sometimes that's the truth. It's like I think we limit each other a little too much. It's like you said, we put sometimes, and I'm not gonna say all black people. Right. I'm not gonna do that because like there's a lot of us who support black business, but then it's like there's a thin line between that. You know what I'm saying?
It's material. It's a lot of us that are more materialistic than realistic.
Which is it is what it is. That
no shade to our culture, but it is. It's like people that wanna they label whores, and it's like because I'm rocking this label that means that I can either be
status.
I have status, right?
I have status.
Well, instead of what my mama used to say back in the day, it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it.
Yeah.
So if people had that mindset of I can be wearing a paper fucking bag, bitch, I look good because I put it together.
Kendrick Lamar said, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make it look sexy.
That's my shit too.
Listen,
I'm gonna make it look sexy.
I'm gonna make it look like
that's my shit.
On some real shit. It used to be that way back in the day,
right?
And I'm not trying to be that the dude that sound like the old nigga. I ain't trying to do that.
But it's not about, because I feel like in today's world that we're living in 2020, people have realized that labels don't fucking matter.
They don't matter. Like, that's cool.
You bought all these outfits online during the pandemic, bitch. You ain't wearing none of that shit.
Like, it's like there's a thing on the internet. There's fit checks. People do fit checks.
Yeah.
Where it's like you run down like how much your whole outfit costs. That is terrible to the culture. Because it's like, granted, okay, you may still like Supreme. You may still like Nike. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with liking these things. It's not what we're saying.
You might be still stopping at the thrift store.
You feel me?
Which ain't nothing wrong with it.
Right. It's your swag. Like, it's supposed to be your swag. So they'll be like, $700 for the sweater, $1,000 for the jeans, $1,200 for the shoes.
Who walking around here with $1,000 jeans on?
You don't know anybody that buys Mike Amiri jeans, do you?
Let me tell you something. If you are able to afford $1,000 for the jeans, pay my student loan debt.
Now here's my thing.
Pay for my student loan debt, because I done went to school and I know I'm supposed to pay it back, but since you got $1,000 to spend on some fabric that costs $7, you can sponsor me.
I respect that. Listen, my thing is like that fit check shit is damaging a lot. So now those videos, the people who put those videos out, the kids, and if it happened to all of us, don't get me wrong, because hip hop music did it, everybody did it.
Right.
But it's like, because we are aware of it now, it's a little different. Kids look at these videos and they see that dictates what they need to be important.
Status. It's a
status. And there's always going to be something, like the car is going to be a status, the house, the American dream is going to be the status. But it's like, what happened to putting your importance on what you actually want instead of what they're telling you need?
And I feel like also that it's okay to have things that have a nice price tag on it. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I like expensive stuff.
You can't buy. If you want a pair of Louboutins and they $1,700 and you really like them and you work for them, I'm not saying you can't get any.
Do you? It's your money.
But when it comes to, I don't know your brand, or, I only rock with stuff that has labels, or, you become so self-indulgent that you don't understand that the value of how the world works is that we all need one another. So just like somebody got to come to your job so you can get paid, so they can pay you, if you work in the medical center, or you work at an office place, a marketing place, somebody got to buy the product
for you to survive,
for your company to even run. If you work at Aldi's as a cashier, people got to come into the fucking store for you to be able to have a job. So we all work together. Everybody works together. So that means that although you spend $1,700 at Louboutin, you can spend the same amount of money, or you could invest that same money in your neck purchase to paint it in blue, or you can pay for somebody to take your photos, or whatever. We all intertwine, and I feel like in 2020 we are learning that.
Yeah, we're way more aware. Yeah, our generation is way more aware right now. Yeah.
I feel like in 2020 the whole country is aware of that, but I also feel like we got to be intentional about it. We can't just say, oh, Black Small Business Saturday, support Black business.
It can't be 3 times a year.
Right. It can't be. It got to be intentional. My girlfriend, shout out to my friend Mimi, she has a vegan face skincare line. I spent my bread on that. I was like, I'm down. Like, I take my skin very serious. If I can go to CVS and spend $17 on some Miss Rose spray that's just water and some damn chemicals that they put on I could spend my $30, $40, $50 on her stuff, because I'll do the same thing if I went to the store.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's killing us, is that who we're allowing to dictate what's what and what is of value. And it's like the value comes on your perception. Right. That's, we can't allow people to dictate and come and tell us what we need, and without really breaking it down and say, okay, like you charge, say if you make dresses, you charge $300 for a dress, whereas you can go to Target and spend $70 on the dress. That's different from somebody who's taking time to make it one by one, as opposed to a big ass machine that's pushing shit out every second.
And if you decide to do that,
cool.
Just know that it's a balance. We all have to balance one another out. Just as much as I spend all of my money on sushi, I still will go to a hood spot and get some chicken from a local spot down the street, because they still have to pay their bills too.
It's all about what you put value in. Yeah, 110%. Like we gotta when it comes to our stories, when it comes to our clothing, when it comes to our music, it comes to our movies, when it comes to all of this stuff, we have to understand that it's not just one outlet that we need to go to
Right.
to get the story out, to get the story told, to get something heard, to get something worn. That's cool. We also have like, and you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot of people who take advantage of that buy black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I see people who say buy black simply because they are black. And now on Uber Eats, is it Uber Eats or is it Grubhub? I can't remember which one.
They got a black tab.
Well, now any restaurant can label themselves as black owned, and there's no fact check.
Wow.
There's no fact check. All for money, you know. So it's like, and
That's like the Black Lives Matter shield. Sign.
Just putting it up in front of your house so you don't.
Oh my God, we support Black Lives Matter.
Do you really? Do you really? Where were you yesterday? Before the sign?
No, it's not even that for me. Like it's, you know, everybody. It's a train that people jump on. But I feel like one thing that I will say that people need to be selective with. Cancel the right people.
I agree.
Cancel people that's been canceling us from the beginning.
I agree.
Cancel people that's been using us from the beginning.
Pay attention to people's intentions.
It's documented. It's so funny. I was telling my girlfriend this the other day. I was like, what people need to realize is in 2020, God has shown us, and I believe this to my core, that with all of this shit that was done in the dark,
it's all
come to the light. So with that being said, people they slip is showing. Like they say, a woman's slip is showing.
Yeah, that's
America's
old
slip
saying.
has been showing all 2020. Y'all better look at the shit and see if it's tainted. And open up your eyes and see who is really for humanity. I'm not going to even say the culture. Who is really for humanity and making sure that the human race as a collective moves forward, and who is only for themselves. And the people that's for themselves, cancel the fuck out of them, because
I agree.
we can't take you into the new decade with your self-indulgent ass. Like, no.
I agree. Like on some real shit, I agree. It's all about actually being a community.
Right.
It's about being people, being of the people and for the people. I agree 110%.
Right.
That's where we need to be at right now. It's not about taking advantage of anybody, because in all honesty, you take advantage of somebody, everybody loses. It ain't, you know, it's you can't just intentionally put people in bad situations, or just take away from this person because you feel like that person deserves it more. It's like, I understand that equality, sometimes equality is just a word to some people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes equality, in some situations, it can't take place.
Well, yeah, but that's where equity comes in.
Right.
That's where
sometimes it can't take place because it's not balanced enough. Like one side is outweighing the other side.
It's always gonna be that way. Nobody can ever be on a level playing field.
Yeah.
No two. It's impossible to have a.
But
whole
how
world
we
on a level
treat
playing
one
field.
another can.
That's different. That's completely different, you know.
Yeah.
But people like, so my, you know, before we go, like one of my points about the whole buy black thing that I've seen people take advantage of, not just, well, of course, putting it on for clout, you know, but then a lot of people put buy black solely so that they will just buy from you because you are a black person or a person of color. One thing I will say about that is, I want to buy black. I intentionally try to buy black as much as I can when I can afford it. Because if I could afford, like you said, if I could afford something else, I could afford them, you know? Not only support black business, but support good black business.
Yes.
Support people who have morals,
Yeah.
good intentions, and good product.
Customer service is a big deal when it don't matter what fucking store I go into. Tony knows this about me. Customer service is the biggest thing. We have not gone into a local hood spot that has black owners because they service was that fucking bad. Like,
all I gotta do is get treated wrong once, and I'm not
like,
fucking with you.
for
no
me,
more.
service is a big deal. So if your customer service is not on point, I will not be supporting your establishment.
Hey, Family Dollar, get your shit together. Every single Family Dollar I've ever been into has terrible employees.
They do.
Get your shit together. I don't know if it is literally in your manual to teach people don't be at the register, walk around on the floor, never have nothing on the shelf. I don't know if y'all teach people that, but get your shit together.
Them and Dollar Tree, they owned by the same people. They
the same shit.
Dollar
Dollar
nothing.
Tree don't even have employees. There's one person at the register and one person in security.
But at least they have shit on their shelf though. They have a bunch of stuff on the shelf. You'll get to the register and
they
not
got
be
a
able
bunch of
to.
shit on the shelf, but nobody to tell you where it's at.
Right.
You Family Dollar be having 7 people on the floor, nobody doing nothing. Nothing. They get an attitude when I walk up to the register. What kind of shit is that? Nigga,
Yeah.
do your job.
You know, but yes, I will agree. You can support good business. Support businesses that have value, that you feel like have value, and they appreciate their clientele, instead of just saying, oh, we shipping out t-shirts, we blah 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 blah, we doing this, you know, the way your shit is packaged. If your shirt is balled up in the damn thing, they don't care about you.
You just wanted my money.
Right. They don't care about you.
Yeah, no. It's all about what we put value into. That's it. You know, value the people who want to tell the story correctly. I prefer to imagine if I would have watched the Temptations movie that had white actors in it. Imagine that. That would be a perfect mindfuck of who's telling what story. Think about that. Remember Five Heartbeats when they had the Four Horsemen?
Yeah.
Singing their song? Imagine that shit. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention
I'm so glad somebody else directed that.
Listen, all I'm saying is like we gotta put value into people who are telling the stories, people that look like you who are telling the stories about stuff that happens to you.
Right.
Value the people who care about presentation when you buy something from them, customer service, all that shit. But we have to. I understand that people don't want to hear this shit, but it's like we have to dictate the culture, so we have to put value into it. So
we have to be intentional about what we represent.
Yeah, you give me good product, I'll support it.
Right.
So that's why Coleman When It's Over is here. And this has been another episode of Coleman When It's Over.
Yes. This was a good episode. So hopefully you guys really took what we said or dissected and received it the best way you know how. And, start with your intention the best way you know how.
All we can do is put it out, let them receive it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm your girl, Shriveled Out, Josiesboy.
And I'm Alexis A. McCoy.
Please do not forget our audio is available on all podcasting platforms.
It's gonna be listed below in the video, but you guys can check us out on all platforms.
Yeah, go to the description, all that stuff. Read, we're everywhere, literally, except for title.
And if you are not able to find us on any of those platforms, you can check us out on our homepage at RageWorksNetwork.com.
Yes,
because all of our audio is there. All of our episodes are there.
Yes.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. On Instagram at _Call Me When It's Over. On Facebook at Call Me When It's Over. And yes, we said it at the beginning of the episode, but we're gonna say it again. Where do they need to subscribe?
Go to YouTube. Where you can find us at Call Me When It's Over podcast. Go to YouTube.
And subscribe because
Yeah,
we definitely want you guys to be a part of this conversation with us.
Hell yeah.
So go ahead and subscribe.
Yeah, so, and as always, speak up, speak out.
And leave your ego at the motherfucking door.
She drew that out. I'm not mad at it. Y'all stay safe.
Bye.